The Shatters reconstruction changed the Shatters into the longest and most difficult dungeon in Realm of the Mad God. But did you know that it has a hard mode?
Oh, enjoy!
That's right. On the 29th of March 2022, just 7 months after the reconstruction of the Shatters, a secret hard mode route was silently added to the dungeon. Activating this hard mode requires killing a near invisible enemy that isn't even guaranteed to spawn, and yet players discovered it within 24 hours of the update's release. Although this seems like an incredible feat, the hints and investigations in pursuit of this secret had taken place for months. In this video, I'm going to share all the events related to the hard mode Shatters, from the hints which released alongside the rework to the eventual addition and discovery. As part of Month of the Mad God 2021, the long-awaited Shatters rework released on the 26th of August. It was to be both the longest and most challenging dungeon in the game, offering a variety of new mechanics and 3 extremely powerful bosses. There were countless enemies to be found, but 2 seemingly unused enemies stuck out from all the rest. Although they weren't in the game at the time, data miners discovered Void Phantasm and the Source within the game's code. Placed inconspicuously at the bottom of the Shatters Realmi page, players immediately theorized that they might be included in a secret boss fight. Questions began to rise, but no serious investigations took place until the user Azlechi died on a leaderboard sorcerer and began to divert his attention toward questioning the existence of the source. This got the attention of a few other users, who on the 2nd of November found multiple hints of the source's existence and concluded that an investigation should take place as soon as possible. The first major investigation took place 3 days later. Several theories were tested, including bringing the incredibly rare Eye of the King together with the stone idol, but nothing came of these experiments. Although no new major breakthroughs were discovered, many pieces of the mystery that had been present from the beginning were realized. The first, and perhaps most important, lay in Gil's dialogue related to the Shatters. If a dungeon is opened in the guild hall, Gil will say random things related to the dungeon until it disappears. Some of these dialogues for the Shatters hinted at not only the source, but also the ability to make the stone idol become accursed. The second was a tile in the code called Shatters Secret Bookshelf. It eventually turned out to be unrelated, but some suggested that the source could be hidden behind bookshelves within the castle's library wing. The final noteworthy discovery was a poster located in the alchemy lab, which depicted a generator. Like the bookshelf, players theorized that the source could be hidden behind this poster. Unlike the bookshelf, however, these theories eventually became reality. Wonderings about the source eventually quieted down, and it became largely forgotten by the time Toasters announced a final surprise in his farewell letter on the 13th of December. Few people thought to connect it to the fruitless investigation that had taken place only a month prior. Before long, thoughts of this one last surprise had begun to drift away from players' minds. It wasn't until an unsuspecting testing session on the 27th of February that talk of the source once again arose. A user by the name Nicolo stumbled upon the source while playing on the testing server. Myself and a few others took notice and started planning an immediate investigation. The surprise was here at last, and the source was real. As the second major investigation began, Nicolo joined us and shared a few more important aspects of this twisted Shatters run. The Bridge Sentinel dropped doubled loot and became Val the Unbreakable upon death. Accursed enemies within the castle were more numerous. Killing the source required 4 generators to begin the Archmage fight, and the Twilight Archmage became Nox the Wild Shadow before performing a brand new attack. Toaster showed up to confirm our suspicions that this was indeed his final surprise, and that it was nothing too taxing. The investigation was cut short after Distratix admitted the surprise was not yet meant to become available and was simply triggered by accident. At the very least, we can now confidently assume the release date of the source and compile all the information we had collected about it. We agreed to say nothing of this hard mode to the public so as to not ruin the surprise. The guild dialogues, the videos of Nox and the source, and even Shatters guides, many of the investigators lacked Shatters experience, were compiled, ready for the big release, which we soon learned would be the Elemental Equinox event. 29th of March, just 1 month after the initial leak of the source, the Elemental Equinox event began. Few more eager investigators began searching independently right away, but group investigations did not begin until the afternoon. New theories were tested, old theories were tested, but nothing seemed to work. We eventually decided to take a break, though the 2021 ARG hero Yoshikuru decided to run a few more alone. It was Yoshikuru who was the first to discover the Void Phantasm lingering within the derelict village. At last, we had found the missing link. Before long, we had learned how to kill the Phantasm, and with it, the Stone Idol. Although Yoshikuru's run was ended by the Bridge Sentinel, the group investigations had newfound motivation, this time by a group capable of taking down the Sentinel. As expected, his name changed to Valen on death, but something prevented our run from reaching Nox. Something that would prove to be a great bottleneck in the future, the lack of an alchemy lab for the source to appear in. It was now clear that it could take several runs to uncover the remainder of the Shatters hard mode, but we quickly managed another run, and the source was killed at last. Nox proved to be a formidable foe, tearing through our group using a multitude of new attacks. By the time the fight was over, only one hero remained, Muth. Muth continued to the Royal Gauntlet which, like the castle, contained a significant number of accursed enemies. Muth was quickly overwhelmed, and the group investigations came to a close. A few mysteries were still unsolved, however. After the conclusion of our investigation, word of hard mode Shatters was spread to Reddit, where it quickly caught the attention of players experienced with the Shatters. Everyone quickly began fighting Nox, eventually reaching the Forgotten King, which was completely unchanged. Clearly, there was one final roadblock on the path to a completed hard mode Shatters. Investigations continued across various servers throughout the night, as theories began to form about how to find the hard mode king. Some pointed to the dialogue spoken during RotMG's balanced finale, suggesting that it was required to continue the hard mode route. Sure enough, when players tried this, something strange happened about halfway through the Forgotten King fight.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Wait,
oh my
what?
god!
I was literally about to say something
Wait,
about a curse.
what?
No way. I knew it. I was
Oh,
literally.
whoa! Get away, get away, get away, get away! What the?
Plus, oh my
Yo.
god! What did you drop?
What the?
What did you drop?
Yo, Lochi, give me crown.
Wait, okay, so there must be guaranteed crown, right? King Azamoth?
What
Wait,
the
what the fuck?
actual?
Wait.
The mystery of the Shatters was finally put to rest. Hard mode runs were being completed, and players were obtaining the Chrysalis of Eternity, a direct upgrade to the Forgotten Crown. The hard mode Shatters may have been discovered, but investigations of the Shatters are far from over. During the hard mode route, several NPCs appear in various hidden places throughout the dungeon. There are 5 NPCs currently known of, and 2 of them are even involved in a secret mini-boss fight, which replaces the Gauntlet section after Nox. This and more are part of an ongoing investigation in the Lore Discord. If you'd like to join us, a link to the Lore Discord can be found in the description. That being said, thank you to Muth, Ezlechi, Yoshikuru, Oofg, Alpine, Justin, Nicklo, Time Warp, Flame Venturer, and everyone else who helped with the investigations. Thank you to Toasters for creating this madness, and thank you for watching. This is Cat Jones, reminding you to play hard and stay safe.
infant.
Yeah. Hey yo.
Okay, that's a fun.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Wholesome.